Hello, Reformers, and welcome back to Blood and Steel. Now, when we left off, I was waiting at Yelbegi Castle until it had actually become garrisoned. Now, the only problem with that is that Jarl Remald has actually turned up to try to attack us. Now, I did make a brief stopover at Tyr to place some Alephs into the garrison there so as to prevent us from becoming too overpowered, because I read quite a few of your comments stating that you would like to see a few less Alephs in our potential army. So, that is what I have done. I have put in exactly half of the amount of Alephs that we had before, so I have 7 now, and hopefully that will do us quite well. We can only hope anyway. So, let us head in to Jarl Remald and attack him. And now, I'm a little skeptical about this, because, we will probably be able to take him. Yes, let's do it. Now, the only reason I did not want to let him go into Yelbegi, because no doubt he would take it immediately if we left, of course, but also because it would take a long time for us to be able to resolve the siege in question, and I was not really up for that. So, let's see now. Do you remember what I had told you earlier? Let me phrase that a little differently. Yes. Okay, so, let's see. I will reward you with lands? No. Okay, that's not going to work either. We actually needed to ask him something about how do you feel about the lands and so forth, and that would give us the hint to what he actually wants us to say to him in that case. So I probably should have done that, but yes, yet again, I have dropped the ball, but hopefully we will be able to take this fellow down. I believe he will probably be giving us a lot of renown. As you can see, the renown value for this battle is 50, and I am exceptionally pleased with that. Okay, so we have a rather decent chance here, although we are outnumbered quite considerably, so we may have to be a little cautious when it comes to engaging ahead of schedule, should we say. Now, our Alephs are going to take a long time to get over here, so let us hold position in this particular area, because it seems as though this would force our enemies into a somewhat artificial bottleneck, considering, as you can see over there, there are very few gaps between the trees. Well, should I say large gaps between the trees, because as you can see there are rather minuscule gaps, but for cavalry it might be quite difficult for them to squeeze through. So I can only hope that that will assist us in actually taking down this superior force. Now, my Alephs are moving down here very slowly indeed. We do have Marnid, so technically I have 6 Alephs plus Marnid, so that would be the 7th. So let's just make sure that we're not getting snuck up upon here. Let's see what we can do. I think... Oh no, it's one of those units again. Running off in that direction, how wonderful. Okay, well, we can't do anything about that as such, and now their Aleph is bombarding us, so we do actually need to get a few of our infantry ahead here so that our cannoneers are not targeted specifically. I can only hope that our units move into position rather fast so as to prevent any more unnecessary casualties. Ooh, this is not good. Okay, some battle sisters are actually getting killed now by the enemy cannoneers. Not great, I have to admit. Okay, so we have a few Alephs coming up here now, thankfully. And let's actually just see where they're coming from now. Right ahead of us. So it appears the Aleph on the enemy side is doing an exceptional job, but I do not believe that will help them. Well, I can only hope not, anyway. So, yes, let us move our Alephs a little closer, just to make sure they have some damage on them. Oh, this is not good. It seems as though some of my infantry is in range of their Aleph, so we do need to move our Alephs a little bit closer so they can start retaliating with their bombardments as well. Let's do it. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, very nice. Okay, so we're getting our LFs going over there. They are doing some damage now, thankfully. Now I'm hoping that we can force them to charge into us, because if we charge into them, we are most likely going to be dying rather soonish. So if we do it this way, we'll have greater chance. Oh, it actually seems like they are charging in already, so let us charge. Ow, that actually hurt my camel rather considerably. How dare you? My camel is sacred. Oh my. Maybe not too sacred, because it may be destroyed or killed rather soon. Okay, so let's now send our cavalry in. I will get my axe out and we'll do some charging in and taking down some Valguards potentially. That would be the way to do it. Come on. Yeah, nice kill there. 143 damage, not too bad. Our LFs are still back there with our... ouch. With our archers. And I can only hope that we actually survive this, because as you can see, we are currently losing quite a few units, but our LFs are probably the only reason why we are currently doing quite well, or at least I would like to think we are doing quite well. I have to say that I would appreciate it if we could charge their LF. Oh my... Ooh, careful. Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, LF's assisting me. Very, very good indeed. Okay, so let's charge our archers in a little bit. Make sure they are in range. And now I will hopefully be able to charge their LF and take him down. As many of our units are currently thinking the same thing. I would like to get the XP for it though, if possible. If possible, maybe? It would be nice. Oh yes, there we are. 2500 experience. Ah, not as much as before. I don't think LFs level up, so I'm not entirely sure what the difference is with XP values. So I believe the previous one I received 4,500. I think that was the case anyway. I could be mistaken, of course. Ooh, 36 renown for defeating those enemies. We took down 275. He only has 339 remaining. We have 489, so we now outnumber him, and oh, we're still getting a rather high renown value, which is, of course, because we are outnumbered by one. Well, technically not. We have exactly the same, because we have one ally on the battlefield, and that is, of course, Marnid in his LF. So that's rather cool. I'm actually wondering whether Marnid's LF is more powerful than the other LFs that you can actually acquire, because if you recall, when we first met Marnid and he told us the story of how he came across his contraption and started to work with it and use it for everything and anything under the sun and so forth, and he said, "My LF is superior to the ones that the lords use," and I was just like, yeah, I definitely want him in our army, and yes, so I was just wondering whether that was the case, because really, LFs don't really have any stats? Do they have stats? Ooh, we should actually check that out when we can. Just after this battle, I think we may be able to. That would be rather interesting, to say the least. I don't believe we actually checked when we received our first Aleph by rescuing it from those units down in the Saranid territory, I believe. That was when we actually rescued our first one. But it seems as though my units are completely running them down very easily indeed. Oh, actually, never mind. It was only the cavalry that were actually attacking us that soon. Okay, we definitely need to hold position back here then. Come back, Sword Sisters. We do not want you to sacrifice yourselves in vain. We need to make a stand in the appropriate manner. And, oh wow, they're actually doing quite well with their throwing weapons. Seem to be hitting quite a few shields. That's always a good thing. Okay, so we're having a few of the enemy's infantry attempting to assault some of our Sword Sisters, but I do not believe that will work that effectively. And Ymira has advanced to level 15. Very nice to see indeed. And I think now we will charge in, because they seem to be all scattered. And that is actually going to work in our advantage. And that is actually going to work in our favor. As you can see, they are completely outmatched, outgunned, and everything else that has a prefix of out. Yes. Okay, so we are now going to be winning this, of course, and then I will check out the Aleph's stats. And, you know, I always say, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that after each battle, and whenever I leave the battle, I immediately forget what I was going to do. So hopefully I will remember in this particular situation that I need to check the Aleph's stats. Yes, I almost forgot it there. Isn't that amazing? Okay, let's actually try and take someone down. Okay, never mind. He has a spear. How dare you? My camel does not appreciate spears. Thank you for the amazing XP. Rather good. Come on, take him down, Sword Sister. Oh, okay, never mind. Merc Duelists actually doing quite a good job there. Oh my, okay, they're actually bringing in some reinforcements, or these units were dilly-dallying behind them. I could make a reference to a movie that I've watched recently, but not entirely sure how popular it is with anyone that actually hasn't played the game in question that it is based on. Oh my goodness, did you see that? That was amazing. Jumping camel attacks. The untold story. That is the documentary that my camel's life will be documented in. Yes, but I was talking about, of course, Final Fantasy Advent Children. It carries on 2 years after the original actions of Final Fantasy VII, which is, of course, the game. And there is a line in that particular movie that is dilly-dally, shilly-shally. So I was referencing that, of course. But yes, it's not a very well-known movie from what I can tell, because everyone I talk to seems to not either have a high opinion of it or has not seen it at all. So yeah, I suppose if you guys have seen it, then let me know in the comments and we can get a cool discussion going on about it. And of course, if you don't like the movie, then, you know, maybe you can give us a reason why. Because I personally think it's probably in my top 10 of favorite movies, but maybe that's just because I felt a really deep connection with Final Fantasy VII itself. Because I played it when I was extremely young. I believe I played it when I was 9? I'm not entirely sure when, but it was an amazing experience at that time, and I am actually replaying it as we speak. So yes, I'm enjoying that quite considerably. And oh, we do actually have to prevent this fellow from taking down some of our Alephs, because as you could see, he actually was able to get past our lines, which is a feat within itself. But thankfully our Alephs are rather good at taking down the stragglers with their amazing artillery skills. Now, not entirely sure, but I think we may indeed have too many Alephs still, because as you can see, I am not really having to do that much. So my apologies for that. I really thought that 7 would be enough, but it seems as though we are still overwhelming the enemy rather considerably. So what I will do, I may place 1 or 2 more in the garrison, and then we will go from there. And there we are victorious versus Jarl Rimaud. Oh yes, there we go. We only lost 22, not too bad at all. And he actually manages to escape. That is unfortunate. But nevertheless, we can now continue onward. Oh yes, okay, so here we go. Let us take as many experts and so forth as we can. There we are, not too bad. And we will perform a few upgrades. I don't think anyone really can wear anything else. Ah, these are the axes that the Valguards use. Okay, well, they actually do a lot more damage. 20 more damage, in fact. The speed rating is less, but they do have a little more weapon reach. We may actually want to try that out a little bit, even though I am a huge fan of this specific axe. Okay. That's not too bad, I suppose. There we go. And I will look forward to seeing what that axe can actually do. Oh yes. Okay, so there are still absolutely 0 units stationed at Jelbegi Castle, which I am rather disappointed with. I am hoping that it will soon garrison itself. And then, oh, Tribune Bunduck will invite us for a feast at his great hall. Aha, okay, so I think what I will do is level up these units, and then what I will do is cut away, wait for this particular castle to become garrisoned, and then I will cut back. Okay, so Yelbegi Castle has now become stationed with quite a few units. As you can see, 886 total, and I have just spotted another Jarl passing by. Jarl Rayek. Oh my goodness. Okay, so now for this one, what I have done is I have actually equipped this. It is the Aleph Cannon, as many of you in one of the previous episodes actually stated that you would like to see this, so I will oblige that curiosity, as I would like to actually see it as well. It would be rather nice. I must just make sure that I do not lose the double-barrel dragon and the bullets for it, just in case. Okay, so I would really like to get 5 in riding. Now, what actually happened was I lost my mount. I did actually get it crippled once again, so now it is a lame war camel once more. I will use this warhorse until we are able to ride the Holy Charger, which should be not too soon, I suppose. We only need 1 more point in agility for the extra point in riding, so 1 more level and that will be it. Okay, so here we go. We do actually have still 60 prisoners because, of course, let's actually go to Yelbegi and actually place them in the garrison there. That seems like a good idea to me. There we are, very nice indeed. Okay, so now let us chase after Jarl Rayek. Let's make sure all of our units are okay real quick, just to make sure. Yes, there we go. Okay, so I will chase you down. Let's do it. Aha, I've got you cornered. Okay, so let's actually see. Ah, one thing that I'll say about King Ragnar is that he has a ripe batch of bastards in his court. Sometimes I do worry about the state of the realm. Well, I have something to tell you. Yes? I ask for your support for the throne of Calradia. And... oh, this is going to be difficult because he has -4 relation. Okay. I would uphold your ancient rights as a noble? Oh, no. Yes? Would he? Oh, he might. He might actually join us. Militarily, I might be safer if I joined you. I am more comfortable with you and your companions than with my current liege. Ah, there we are. Finally, one should always think about... yes, there we are. Oh, I decided to stick with King Ragnar. How could you? You were more comfortable with us and everything. Oh, that's a shame. Okay, well, there we are. We will get a chance to actually try out our Aleph Cannon anyway, so that is fine with me. And there we are. Okay, so let's just make sure that we're actually starting in a good area.